Hello, welcome to jQuery tutorial, chapter 45, jQuery Ajax Method, brought to you by Ankpro Technologies. My name is Harish. In this session, we are going to learn about the jQuery Ajax method. So, the Ajax method it is used to perform an Ajax request, that is asynchronous HTTP request. Keep in mind all the jQuery Ajax method use this Ajax method as the base, and this Ajax method is mostly used for sending the request. So here comes the syntax $.ajax method, and here you can observe we have something called key value pairs. So what are the keys and what are the values it take? So here is a list of keys it can take. They are async, beforeSend, catch, complete. So these are the keys it can take. Like on complete, what should I do? Like on complete of Ajax request, I should push a pop-up message telling like this Ajax request what you have done is completed with the help of this complete method, or you can do a particular task. Okay, once the Ajax request is completed. And apart from that, we have some other value keys. They are ifModified, JSON P, JSON callback, password, process data, script, caset, success. Okay, this tells you like on success what it has to uh, inform the user. Like on success, it has to push a pop-up message telling like um, the Ajax request is successfully completed. That we can achieve with the help of this success function or success um, key. And we also have something called content type. Okay, context, data filter, data type, error, global. And apart from that, we have something called timeout, traditional type, URL, username, and XHR. Right now in this session, we are not going to learn the entire name or the keys present here. We are going to learn the basic keys or basic names what we can take and we can work with. Okay, we're going to learn the very few of them. So right now, without wasting much time, let me jump into Visual Studio and let me show you like how the Ajax request happens. So before that, I want to tell you something like I've taken a web API project. So what is web API? So I'm making use of ASP.NET Web API. So it is a framework for building HTTP services that can be consumed by a broad range of clients, including browser, mobiles, iPhone, and tablets. So um, let me jump into index page, and here you can observe very clearly I have a button and I have a div element. So on click of this button, what I need to do is I need to fetch the value from the web API and I have to push it inside the div. So without wasting much time, now let me run this page by pressing Ctrl F5. So let me show you like first the API URL. Let me tell you like what it is present there. After that, from that API we are going to fetch the data and we are going to push inside our div element on the button click. So here is my API controller. You can observe we have a list of strings, that is Sam, Henry, and James. So we are going to take this content from the API and we are going to push into our div element. So here you can observe it is opening the page, and my local host is this port number. And once it is open, let me show you. So what we are going to do right now, we are going to fetch the data from the API. Then we are going to push that data into our div element when the button is clicked with the help of Ajax method. So what are the things we have to pass to the Ajax method is we have to pass the URL parameter. Okay, let me show you. And here comes the URL. Okay, after URL we have to set something like, so on success what should happen, if it is error what should happen, on complete what should happen. We are going to do that as of now. And let me go back to my web page, and here comes okay the index page, and here you can observe something like test Ajax. So when I click on that, okay, here the data which is present in the API should come and sit inside the div. So let me click on this API right now. So here it takes me to that API controller. So how do I navigate? It's very simple. So it's API slash values. Okay, here you can observe okay why this is, I'm navigating to this URL because it's API. This is the syntax we have to give, and followed by the controller name. So our controller name is values, so I'm passing that with the URL. So here I'm getting a list of strings. You can observe very clearly. Okay, Sam, Henry, and James. So what I need to do is I need to fetch this string Sam, Henry, and James, and I have to push inside this. Okay, let me go back, and I have to push inside this div element. So how do I do that? With the help of Ajax method. So as we learned, okay, Ajax, okay, it's used to perform an asynchronous HTTP request. So with the help of Ajax method, we are going to send a request to that API and we are going to get back the data. Okay, that particular three strings, they are Sam, Henry and James. So what I need to do is, first I have to navigate here to my index page. So what should when should the data come and sit inside the div on the click of the button? So first let me start writing my jQuery code. So I'm going to identify that button with the ID test, and when I click that, I'm going to identify document.ready. I'm going to identify that, then I'm going to click. Once it is clicked, what should happen is it has to execute anonymous function, and inside this function we are going to define, keep in mind, we are going to define our Ajax method $dot Ajax. Here we are going to specify, okay, the URL. Okay, before that I need to pass this curly braces. Here I'm going to tell, like, I'm going to take a URL. So what is the URL? We have to fetch the data. The URL is, this is the URL, like API/values. From here we have to fetch. So I'm copying this. So I'm passing that URL here. Okay, and after it's separated by comma. Then once it is fetched, I have to tell the type. Okay, it's, we are getting the data from that URL, so the type is get. And after that, okay, on success, what it has to do is it has to execute a function. Okay, and it can take a data, like what the data comes from that URL. So then what it can do is it has to identify this div element with this class name. Then I have to push there. So I'm going to identify that div with the class name, that is log. Then I need to call a HTML method. Within that HTML method I'm going to pass my data. So that three strings will be stored in this data. Okay, and it will be pushed inside this div element with the help of this HTML method. Then after that, okay, if it is error, like, I have to write a separate function. So I have to just push a pop-up message telling, like, error occurred. Okay, and I have something other than that called complete. So I have to separate the key values pairs with the comma. So I'm telling, like, on complete. Okay, this function is going to execute irrespective of your Ajax request is passed or failed. In the sense, if your Ajax request is success or error, by default this function is going to execute. It just indicates, like, Ajax request is completed. It does not mind whether it is success or the error. So I've just copied this and I have to tell, like, okay, Ajax request completed. So when I do Control S, now what I'll do is, okay, and here is my web page. Now what I'll do, let me go back and let me go back here and let me refresh the web page. It's already done. Now what I'll do is I'll click on this. So before that, let me push that button bit down such that it looks good. Instead of test Ajax, let me give something like load data. Let me again refresh it such that the div button will push down. Okay, now when I click on that, okay, you can observe Ajax request completed. So you can observe Sam, Henry and James. So where is this data present? It is present in this API. So let me put something like API's values, and here is the data present in this API. Now with the help of Ajax request, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to fetch the data present in that API to my div element. So the Ajax request is completed, Sam, Henry and James. The data is coming and sitting inside my div element. So you can observe very clearly my page is not getting refreshed. Okay, it's updating only the part of the page. So how can we achieve that? We can achieve that with the help of Ajax method. Okay, now wonderfully what I'll do is I'll just remove this yes from the value. Now I need to execute this this error will get executed because right now our URL is in the wrong format. Let me go back and let me refresh. Now when I hit this button or click this button, load data, we will not get the Sam, Henry and James inside our div element because the URL we are hitting is the wrong URL. So we will get a message telling like error occurred, and we also get like something like Ajax request completed. So now when I click that, you can observe error occurred, then the Ajax request completed. So this is what we can achieve with the help of Ajax method. Okay, we are trying to fetch the data from this URL and we are posting it inside our div. Okay, and these are the parameters, key value pairs you have to pass, that is URL, okay, from where you are fetching, and the type, whether you're getting or posting the thing. On success what should happen, on error what should happen, on complete what should happen. Okay, this is what the advantage of using the Ajax method. Okay, so I hope you understood what is Ajax method and why do we use it to fetch data from the server without reloading a web page. So this is just the basic method, Ajax method. We will be seeing still more other methods of Ajax in the coming sessions. As of now, thank you for listening. Okay, have a great day. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel Ankpro Training. You can also like our Facebook page visiting this URL. You can also follow us on Twitter. For further reference, refer our website. We are on LinkedIn too. Last but not the least, please don't forget to give the feedback. Thank you. Have a great day.